What's up, Switchlock? What's up, Switchlock Double D League? I'm coming to you live. Just got done with a nice hard workout. Gonna quench myself with some Gatorade. Wait a second. I don't work out anymore. Fuck that noise. Much more like it. Alright, cocksuckers, let's get to this video. So first off, I want to make an apology to Sean. Sean, I said your team was a total piece of shit. And I said that without any context to what I was saying. So I went and I did a little bit of research, and I found out you actually have the most points for in this league. You have the highest single week score in this league. And even though I still think your team is a load of garbage and dog shit, and you're probably going to crash and burn before the playoffs, right now the facts say you actually have a pretty good team, and you've earned that number 2 power ranking. So I want to apologize for that, because you actually have 560 points for, compared to Devin's last place 386 points for, which Devin, that is fucking disgusting. Like, Sean's lowest score of the year is 89 points. Devin has only surpassed that once this season. So, Devin, try harder. But, I mean, for how long you've been in this league, I don't think you've ever made the playoffs. So, just do something different. I think your roster management tips should be, whatever you are thinking about doing, do the opposite of that, and your team will probably have a little bit more success. All right, let's get back to actual power rankings. All right, so first up, I have myself versus David Cardona. I was 0.1 away from getting a triple-digit score. Got the win, so who fucking cares? Looked at my team. Nobody stood out to me. Who fucking cares? Cardona had 86 points. Got it fairly close. 13-point gaps, nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of people have done a lot worse against me. A-Rod is your shining star. Besides that, your team looked like a hot mess. So, I don't know. Fix it, motherfucker. Now we got Chris motherfucking Frias doubting my commitment earlier tonight. Cocksucker. And you say this like you were looking forward to me analyzing your 70.7 points. Even with Drew Brees passing the all-time passing yards record and having a great night for your team, you still managed to lose. Drew would be upset. Like, I want to call Drew Brees and be like, hey, man, I know you got the record and everything, but you got to try harder, because Chris Frias leans on you way too much. So, thank you for having me look into this, Chris. Thank you, because if I didn't already need to just, feel better about my team, looking at your team and analyzing how you did, and then looking at your past performances, and just your overall management of your team, your lack of trades, exploring that, just, it makes me feel better about my team. So thank you. Thank you for that. Fuck you. Then we got Sean. I mean, 124. Great. Good for you. You had 4 players score over 20 points this week, which, that for me was the most impressive aspect of your team, is the balanced attack. You didn't have one just guy go off. So good on you for that. The biggest thing I noticed about your team is that you had 5 guys that were listed as questionable in your starting lineup from last week. I didn't bother to actually read what those questionable things said, so, I mean, it might be good, might not be good, but it just definitely sounds like your team is kind of unstable. So, I mean, I like to think of it as your team might be like the Blake Arnold of this right now we're very early in the season, so this is like high school Blake, maybe like freshman sophomore Blake when he was second in conference and everything. But it's a long season, and your team strikes me as a glass cannon, so I don't think it's going to make it all the way through. I think it's going to be a Conover or double D league casualty before the season ends. So good luck to you in that one. Next matchup, we got Swarangy versus Adam. Swarangy, my only note on your team when I looked at that matchup was just shit. Your team looks like some serious diarrhea. Like, your team looks worse than the shit I took this morning, and I don't have a picture of it, but it was not a good shit. Um, Adam, good on you. 101. Mark Ingram breathed new life into your team, so good on you for that. I mean, I think he was suspended for steroids, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously there's some residual effects there. So you're still feeling that, which is good. I mean, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I like his commitment to excellence. Um, Russell, I respect the commitment to Russell Wilson because he's been playing like a piece of shit for a while, and going up against the Rams defense and you're still starting him, I respect the move. It paid off for you. Fantasy karma is a real thing. Hope everything's going well out there in DC for you, big homie. Um, Next, we got Galvez versus Nick. Um, Galvez, you got 106 points. Cool. But your team just struck me as really top heavy. Like, if Todd Gurley's ACL doesn't hold up, you're fucked. But, I mean, I love Todd Gurley, so I really think your team's going to do well. Nick, 90 points. I mean, you're still second in points for overall. You're playing me this week, so you're probably going to lose. But, I mean, James Conner's still going to be killing it for one more week. I think the Bengals game, I think he's going to run all over Sean's weak ass Bengals. Um, Actually, fuck. I can't even say weak ass Bengals are Sean's team because Sean is probably the most fair weather Bengals fan I've ever seen. Like he's Sean's not a Bengals fan. Sean is a football fan. I think it's time for Sean to stop claiming the Bengals as his team. The Bengals don't want Sean. Sean doesn't want the Bengals. I think it just mutual part ways. I refuse to call Sean a Bengals fan from here on out. Um, Tom, 116 points. Devin, 66.9. I mean, Tom leans heavily on Tom and Saquad, but that's not a bad thing. Saquad's got those young legs. Tom fucking is a wizard, so I mean you can't fault that at all. Tom felt so confident that he didn't start a tight end this week. I know that's just Tom not giving a shit and not checking his fantasy team because he's off being a Marine or whatever. But you know I'm gonna go ahead and say he did that on purpose. This is an insult to Devin. Um, Devin, I mean, I didn't write actually anything for your team besides the fact that you have the lowest points for in the entire league. So I mean, whatever, bud. Lastly, we got Zach versus Carter. Zach, you got 86 points and got the win. When I looked at your team, same as Sworn, I just wrote shit. There's nothing about your team I liked. There's nothing about your scoring players that I liked. But you got to win. So I mean, sometimes that's really all that matters. Carter, you got 80 points, but I like your team. I don't know why your team sucks so much. I mean, maybe they just don't want to play for you and it's an ownership thing, but your team should be doing better. You're seriously underperforming given those standards. Um, but the biggest thing, granted that I'm a little drunk, so you noticed you notice more things when you notice different things. And I noticed that Zach's team for the longest time has been making love all day. And I'd like to get an explanation from Zach on why your team is that. Because I thought it was very ironic because I thought you were waiting till marriage. And you're not married yet. So why would you be making love all day? I just, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want an explanation for that. That was very curious for me. Um, I just want to make a comment on Sean beating me last week, because apparently that drew some attention for the people who actually checked the group me. Um, yeah, Sean beat me. Sean tried to rub it in my face by playing nice, and then I was like, Sean, get the fuck out of here. No one wants it. Um, what's up, my lovely wife?
Me.
So I was like, get the fuck out of here. And Sean was like, yeah, you caught me. I was just being a little cocksucker. But now this week, Sean is like, I'm very passionate about this league and I'm unapologetic when I win. So I think that's a total 180. And I think that's pretty two-faced of you, Sean. I think you're just playing your audience. So fuck you. And I'd like to announce my candidacy for running for commissioner against you next year. Because I really don't think the league needs this bullshit. I think your team's a piece of shit. You've never won a championship in any of the Switchlock affiliate leagues, whether it's American Switchlock League or Double D League. And I don't think you deserve this position of honor that you get. And I think you helped found this league. I think the league's got to put you down, you know? George Washington knew when it was time for him to walk away. I don't think you know when the time to walk away. I think you want to keep trying to live on your dreams, you know? I think you got to, you're like a horse with a broken leg, and I'm going to have to put you down. So, with that, fuck all y'all.